Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Monday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early. It's 3:25 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Yes, I am early today. You know what that means. If you watch my channel, you know that means I found a story quick that I feel strongly about, and I got out here and I want to talk about it. And boy, did I find a Lulu this morning. I wasn't even sure if I was going to make a video this morning. We got our very first snowfall here in Connecticut. Today is Monday, December 11th. And we've got it looks like about 3 or 4 inches of snow, which is absolutely nothing here in Connecticut. But it is the first snowfall. So I'm all thinking about cleaning off my car and the usual maintenance that comes with a snowfall. But anyway, I found a story that I wanted to talk about really quick this morning. It's on TMZ, and this just happened the day before yesterday, Saturday evening. And this story isn't even 36 hours old, so you guys are probably going to hear more about this story. I can't help but imagine. This story talks about marital aids and adult themes. So I pray to God that I don't, if all of a sudden I disappear again, it'll be for 2 weeks this time. If I disappear again, you'll know what happened. But this is just a good, healthy talk. And Marjorie Taylor, it's about Marjorie Taylor Greene. This story was on TMZ right off the bat. Like I said, the story popped up not even 24 hours after the initial incident. This was at a New York Young Republicans gala in New York City. Okay, and the TMZ article, it says that Marjorie Taylor Greene was talking about the January 6th incident, and that if she was in charge of that, they would have succeeded. She says some incredibly offensive stuff, supposedly. Now, because in this article, there's no film, there's no camera, there's no actual recording of it. That's what I found. But let me tell you, there's 2 other clips right down below, the 2 clips that you can watch. Right from Twitter, that are just unfreaking believable. And it's scary. It's scary because Republicans and the measures they passed, that the Supreme Court passed in this last year, banning certain procedures, and there's the fear that they want to ban more stuff. And if this isn't the evidence of that, I don't know what is. What does she talk about? This was just Saturday night in New York. I believe it was in New York City, Young Republicans Gala. During dessert, they're all sitting in a big space where they have these events, right? She's up on stage. She got her squeaky voice and her little black dress up there. And she says she doesn't know what this country is coming to, because now they sell, it rhymes with, you know that character from Lord of the Rings, Bilbo Baggins. It rhymes with Bilbo, and a certain type of plug. All right. She says now they sell these 2 things at a drugstore that begins with 3 letters, begins with C, ends with S, and another big box store that's got a big target for a emblem. She says these 2 things are being sold at these stores now. This is the state we're living in. This is the country we're living in. And you actually watch the clip. You actually hear people, where they're recording. Whoever's recording this, you hear somebody at the table going, Marjorie Taylor Greene goes, Joe. She starts talking about Joe Biden, and this is what the country's coming to. God help us. And you hear some guy say, "Amen." Because oh my God. So first thing, I think this is bull, man. I've been in both these stores all the time. So of course, I don't even bother to Google this. And I put my comments on Twitter. I said, this is a bald-faced lie. And it's like, where's your mind at, first of all? She's up there, and then she goes on to say, well, you have to excuse me. I know you guys are having dessert. So she's talking about these various types of plugs and whatnot. And while somebody's eating their chocolate mousse, yeah, classy. Nothing says class, right? So they're all, and I noticed there's 2 specific. So before I get to that, so I actually Google it. I'm in these stores all the time. I'll be damned. they do sell these things at those stores. Not only those two stores, but they sell them at Walgreens, I think Walmart. I'm tempted to put the links below to the actual stores and the advertisements. But I don't know where this falls in, because I just got suspended for a week for a connection to an adult site. So this is a connection. This would be a link to the store, but to their adult marital aid. So I'm not sure if I have the cojones to put the link down below. You could, if I do, I'm not even decided yet. The link should be down below, but you could just Google it yourself. Okay, so I'll be damned. They do have this stuff there. All right. I noticed she picks these two things. She doesn't say vibrators. She doesn't say anything else. She picks these two specific things. Wonder why that is. The LGBTQ community. We all know where she stands with the LGBTQ community. And the first thing that comes to a novice's mind when they think of the L in LGBTQ or the G in LGBTQ would probably be these two things. Now, when you go to these advertisements, I'm saying I'm guessing that's the reason that she picked these two specific things to talk about. You go to these advertisements, these stores, and they're talking about sexual wellness, marital aids. Seriously, it's good, healthy stuff. These things have been around forever. These things have been around since, seriously, I imagine since sex started, since the beginning. Your partner wasn't available or in the mood and you carved a stick or something, I'm just guessing here, or you went out to the garden. I don't know, but I'm guessing, people have always been very inventive and very, anyway. Okay, so then she goes on to say, I'm going to go back to that in a second. I want to tell you guys about a girl I dated in the last 16 years. But before I get on into that, there's another clip down below where she talks about, don't change the channel when I say this. Do not shut off this video when I say this. Hunter Biden's laptop. I found this, if I talk about Hunter Biden's laptop, because I can go to my analytics and I could find when people shut off the video, the exact second that people watch the videos, seriously. And whenever I talk about or use Hunter Biden's laptop, if I put that in the title, if I talk about it in a video, it is a sure mood killer, a sure view killer for my channel. People are not interested in Hunter Biden's laptop. So she says she's got a copy of Hunter Biden's laptop. I don't know if it's a whole laptop or it's a file or what it is, but she's got the whole thing, the whole copy, the whole model set up in her office. And she can't wait to start, the proceedings, because they're in charge of Congress now. So this is what we have to look forward to for the next 2 years. Impeach Joe Biden, and she names because of the border, and he is the best friend of the cartels, and the oil reserves and China. Oh, good God, really? If Biden didn't do anything to bring down gas prices, interesting thing here too, I have a list of the top 100 countries with the highest gas prices, and the United States isn't even on the top 100 countries with the highest gas prices. Look it up yourself. So yeah, it's not just America, it's the entire world. I think in Japan they're paying $11 a gallon. Germany, Latvia, they were talking $5 to $10 a gallon. And us we Americans here, I think it's $3.30 if I'm not mistaken. I believe I paid $3.09 for a gallon the other day. And we're just, oh my God, I won't be able to drive my SUV that gets 10 miles to the gallon. It's ridiculous the way we become accustomed to living, the things we think we deserve, that we are entitled to. Anyway, she talks about Hunter Biden's laptop, and I made a comment. So I said, just keep talking about Hunter Biden's laptop by all means for the next 2 years, because it's a guarantee that they will lose in the 2024 elections, because nobody gives a flying fig Newton about Hunter Biden's laptop. I mean, we just had Donald Trump as president two and a half years ago, and you want to talk about getting your relatives in there or making money off the office of the president. You know, he had all the people from other countries staying at his hotels, charging them exorbitant triple the rates. And he was making the money from that. He was charging the Secret Service to stay at his hotels. And you want to talk about Hunter Biden's laptop. One other thing that really offended me was she started talking about, I don't care how he used different substances, and that just ticks me off. These people always talk about certain things coming over the border, and how they want to save U.S. children from these things, and by making up these stereotypes, it's not helping the people to get into recovery. All right. So anyway, there's no actual recording of her talking about January 6th, which is what the initial TMZ article was all about. All right, let me move on to this now. In the last 16 years, I told you guys I had 2 relationships, and I'm not one to kiss and tell, but I want to share this with you. The first relationship, the one before Audrey, I was a married woman. She got divorced after 20 years, and she started dating me. We had known each other from high school, and it was, let me tell you this, you hear the term sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That's a lie. That's a lie. The best relations I ever had was after I got clean. By far. I didn't realize how much I was numbing my entire body and mind. The best relations I ever had was once I got clean. And this woman would open a drawer and she pulled out this, right? And then another week later, she opens the drawer again and she pulls out something else. Eventually she ended up pulling out about every type of marital aid that can come to mind. It was the most, this kind of activity, I almost worried about our heart. I thought we were going to pass out. I'm not even kidding. At one point, I thought she lost consciousness. I'm totally serious. She was face down and I didn't think she was breathing. No lie. I never looked in that drawer. I'm the type of guy that doesn't go snooping. If she wanted me to look in there, she would ask me to look in there. And, God, I was scared of what else I would see in there. And I never looked. But some of the best relationship I ever had. Republicans need to stay out of our bedrooms. This is nobody's business. Marital aid, sexual wellness. This is nobody's business. This stuff the Republicans are bringing up here. Amen. We got to get these things out of our stores and put them back in the seedy storefronts in Times Square where they belong, where we could go get them. Ridiculous. The entire world has moved on. We need to stop being so uptight about our sexual wellness. All right, that's my video. You guys have a good morning.